Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
hey, not much. Another week.
Another week, and here we are.
Yep, another week. Here we are.
Yeah.
Anything exciting happened to you this week?
Um, I've lost a couple clients at work. Um,
You
one,
lost a couple?
yeah, one because it was like a natural like stopping point for the service.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I guess two because they were natural stopping points, and then one because it was just the end of their amount of time they had with me.
Right.
They were like paid by the county to see me, so the county only gave them like X amount of sessions.
So it's pretty much like a discharge.
Yes,
They're just they
yeah,
just finished with their treatment.
yeah. I discharged three clients. I guess when I say I lost, it makes it sound like they died or something horrible happened. I had
Or
three.
yeah,
I had three discharges. Yeah.
yeah. Or they were like, this therapist sucks. I'm gonna go get a different one.
For all I know, that could be the case for two of them. For all I know,
Uh, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
I don't think it is, but you never know.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't say that at least.
So what about them beaches? Why is everybody flooding beaches? I don't understand.
Beaches?
Yeah,
I don't know,
for
man.
Memorial Day. Like, you didn't see the
Oh,
news?
I haven't watched the news in like 2 weeks. I did turn the news on today to watch the SpaceX launch that didn't happen.
Oh,
Um,
the SpaceX launch?
yeah, it was supposed to happen, but weather prevented it.
Weather prevented it.
But no, so what's going on with beaches?
No, like everybody flooded the beaches during Memorial Day.
Uh,
People are on Reddit. It was on the news. It was just clips and photos of all these people at the beach, especially in Ocean City. None of them were wearing masks. It's like,
dumbasses.
dude, I mean, I'm not. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. My tenant is the same thing. She goes out every single fucking day.
Is this the tenant that possibly was exposed in New York?
No, she had it, by the way.
Oh, she did?
She
Like she
had it.
got tested and like she
She
had
brought
it?
it into my fucking house. Yeah,
Dude, I'd be so pissed.
yeah, she fucking had it.
Oh, damn. Yeah, your tenant's dumb.
That's an understatement. And you figured you learn your lesson the first time. You figured you learn your lesson the first time. She goes out every single fucking day. Every day she goes out.
I guess she thinks since she recovered, it's not a problem, I guess.
She tested positive for the antibodies, so obviously she had it. I mean,
Yeah.
by now, she's saying, "Oh, you should get tested too." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
At
You
this
want to know
point,
why? You want to
yeah.
know why? It's because I stayed my ass inside. I didn't fly to New York in the middle of the pandemic because I didn't want to lose money on a vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a plane ticket to New York costs like what, like $200, 250 round trip, JetBlue.
Something like that, yeah. Or you could
I
take
mean,
a train. I mean, the train would be less probably.
or you could just drive. Oh, train's probably more worth it. But anyways, like you figured you learned your lesson the first time. She didn't. She goes out every single day, and it infuriates me because it's like you're gonna drag something else into the house. You're gonna drag that shit into the house again.
So what do you do?
I mean, her lease is up soon, so
There you
it's
go.
yeah. I can't have someone that brain dead living here. I really can't.
Time to find a new tenant.
Like how absent-minded can you be? Like I don't think she's a stupid person. I just think she doesn't care.
She may not. I mean, that's the whole idea of people not wearing masks, right? Is that they just don't care.
No, they just don't care.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in her mind, she's thinking, "Oh, I've already had it. I have the antibodies before I can get infected again." But little does she know, is like, I can still get infected by it. So can your friends. So can your family. The folks that
Yeah.
you're visiting all the time.
But for all you know, you could have it. You could have had it and just not be symptomatic, right?
Yeah, but I know my body well enough to know when I get sick, it's pretty obvious. I'm
But
like I'm super hygienic. Like I'm really hygienic. If I got sick, I would know.
Unless you're
Like,
asymptomatic, right? Isn't that the whole point? Is that you can have it but not have any symptoms?
I mean, I see it this way. If you've caught the flu before and you know you caught the flu, the chances of you actually being asymptomatic to something like this is just slim to none. Now, if you've been asymptomatic before and you know about this, then yeah, it's a possibility that you could be asymptomatic to COVID.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like there are certain people who are asymptomatic to certain illnesses, and there are some
Hmm.
people who are not. And I
Yeah.
am not asymptomatic to illnesses. Like if
Okay.
I'm sick, I know I'm sick.
Gotcha. Okay, I get what you're
And
saying.
if I had something unique as that, I would know it because it
Hmm.
fucks me up. Because I remember one year I caught the flu, and I didn't have and that was the one year that I had a flu shot. I usually don't get the flu shot, and that was the one year I got the flu. Oh man, I felt it.
Yeah.
I fucking felt the flu. I felt it. You know.
Hmm.
But usually I don't get the flu after that. I've gotten the flu maybe like once or twice in my entire life. Besides when I was like a little kid. I think I've gotten it a handful of times when I was a kid, but I was a
Same
fucking kid.
here, honestly, and I don't even get the
I
flu
was,
shot
I
ever.
was a kid. You're a kid. Your immune system's not fully developed. You're disgusting.
Kids are pretty
You know,
fucking gross. Yeah.
fucking nasty, man.
Kids
Not in like
suck.
a, yeah, not in like a mean way. It's like a more factual way. Like kids are just not hygienic. They don't understand these things.
Yeah.
So
No, that's true.
yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but like I think we've been doing enough episodes during quarantine where we stress the fact like, hey, stay the fuck at home. There is a reason that you need to stay at home.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be dogs of the government or whatever, but dude, fucking stay home.
Yeah, and like we haven't been going out like at all. And I know like Virginia's opening up fully now. Like Northern Virginia is going to be starting Friday is going to be open.
Hmm.
You have to wear a mask in public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a disaster, but
It is gonna be a disaster.
yeah, I don't think it's going to work well. And
Yeah.
I'm dying to get a beard trim, but I'm refraining because I'm because it's like I can't wear a mask and get a beard trim, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll probably end up shaving it all off, honestly. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
I mean, you can. I mean, honestly, dude, now is a good time to try your hand at trimming your own beard.
I've done it so many times and I always end up taking like a huge chunk out of it and then I shave it all off.
Use a stopper.
I do, but like so like I'll use a stopper, but like I won't get the. I've tried before, man. I suck ass at it. I need to get someone to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have like a whole kit and like stoppers and different things, and I always end up still lobbing like either too short on the side or lobbing a huge chunk out of it, and then I'm just like, oh fuck it.
Understandable.
Yeah. Because that was my first thought when I was like, oh, it's opening back up. I was like, I can go get a beard trim. And then I saw that like the rules like you have to wear a mask even inside. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to wear a mask and get a beard trim. Like that's not really possible.
Yeah.
I probably have another month in me until it drives me crazy and it's so ridiculous looking that I shave it off.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I don't know. I just think the second wave is always worse
Yeah. And that's a possibility here.
because when you think about it, like it's already here, you know, and so many people are already infected by it. It's like trying to clean up. It's trying to clean up shit that is scattered all over the place. Like if you took like when if shit hit the fan, which it did, you have stuff all over the place. It's really hard to get all the specks off. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
difficult to clean every single inch up if the shit already hit the fan.
Yeah.
Compared to when you have condensed shit sitting in the middle of the floor, you already know where it is. You could just clean that area.
Yeah.
But COVID's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just gonna spread like wildfire. I mean, that's just what I think.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think the second wave is always worse. I mean, look at the history.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm assuming
when
that was the case with like what the 1918 Spanish flu or whatever it was.
Spanish flu, bird flu, they all practice social distancing, and when they let their guard down, the second wave always came in. And it was always worse. Same with the same with the bubonic plague, the Black Plague.
That's true.
They did social distancing too. Second wave was 10 times worse, and then they had a third wave.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they did. Wow.
I mean, they can go ahead and do that shit. They want to open up the state, and they want everybody to, you know, hey, business as usual. Go right ahead. I'll stay my ass right here.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, we've been
until
refraining.
I see the numbers drastically drop. Until I see the numbers drop
Yeah,
or a steady decline, I'm not going anywhere.
it's probably smart.
Because I'm not risking it, giving it to anybody. I'm not going to be an idiot and go out, you know, catch that shit and then go, hey mom, can I come see you? And then give it to my parents. You know, my dad's pushing 70, my mom's pushing 60.
Yeah,
Fuck that, man. I'm not putting my parents at risk.
that's what irritated me so much at the funeral we went to recently, like for my grandma. Like, what pissed me off so much, so my grandpa would not wear a mask, which is like, okay, fine. People were still coming up and like hugging him and like shaking his hand. I didn't hug my grandpa at all because I was like, you're not wearing a mask. I don't want to risk, you know.
Yeah.
It was absurd to me that people were like coming up and hugging him. And this man's like 93 years old.
Yeah.
Not wearing a mask because he's like, fuck it. And I don't blame him at this point. I mean, he just lost his wife. Like, sure, at this point, he probably is just like, fuck it. If it takes me, it takes me. But
Right.
like, you know, I was shocked by that. I was dumbfounded. The amount of people coming up and hugging him.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck, man. And like the minister guy, like took a mask off to give the sermon. And it was just like, motherfucker, like,
All right.
yeah. I didn't even want to go in. Like, I stood outside as long as I could until I was like guilt tripped by the preacher to come in. He was like, "Oh, you're the
Right.
grandson. You need to come up front and be close to your grandpa." And I was like, "God damn it, preacher! Like, I'm out here for a fucking reason, man."
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. People are dumb. And that's the lesson for today, folks. People are fucking dumb.
Yeah. Now we got something else that we have to worry about. Fuck, man.
Yeah, people are dumb. Ugh. So, before people start bringing questions in, I actually have a question that you can answer.
Who, me?
Yeah. What is a good brand for tower fans?
Tower
Like-
fans?
Yeah, so I need to replace the fan in my case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah,
fan.
so I looked up some. I know the size, but like there's so many damn options and like choices.
Thermal
And...
take.
Do what?
Thermal take.
Thermal take.
Yeah, thermal take.
I'm writing this shit down. Thermal take. Okay.
I read it in your chat.
There you go.
Thermal take.
Okay. There's just so many
thermal take.
options. Like I don't care for it to be like RGB, you know, and like all that crap. But like,
I mean, I think there's just some things out there that you can kind of get a generic version of that doesn't really matter.
mhm.
Like fans, I wouldn't be too concerned about. Fans are, I mean, it's not like it's advanced engineering. It's just a fan. You know what I mean? So I don't
True.
concern myself with fan. Like when I was getting fans, I didn't care what fan I bought as long as it worked.
Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to more, when it comes to parts that you depend on more, hard drives,
Mhm.
processor. I mean, there's only so many brands you could choose from. So many, you know, it's either fucking AMD or Intel. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's tons of I know there's tons of processors out there, but you know, the two main choices that you have is Intel or AMD. You know,
Yeah.
graphics cards, GPUs. Like you want to make sure you get a good branded GPU, power supply, things like that. Solid state drives, motherboards, towers itself. I mean, everything else is just kind of
Okay.
whatever.
I just
you
didn't know if like noise, like if like quality mattered. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And there's so many damn options for fans. I was just like overwhelmed.
Yeah, even memory, man. Memory, you can get generic ass memory. You just need to look at the numbers. You got to see like what fits your system. Like you can get fucking Toshiba memory if you want to. Some generic ass. You gotta get like the G skills or the fucking Tridents or anything like that.
Hmm.
Just get ones that have the numbers that suits your system and get those.
Now, can I figure out how to switch out this fan? You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just screw it in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's the it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
They're two female connectors, and then you just find a spot on the motherboard anywhere, you just plug it in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could I not plug it
there'll
in
be
the same
prongs.
spot that the other one was plugged in?
You could.
Okay.
Yeah, you just replace it. Just
Okay.
a quick swap. Yeah.
Okay.
Super easy.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then you'll have installed your first part.
I will. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get on that this week probably then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And once you have to go in more often and look at different things, you'll get more familiar with your system.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Like I think everybody who has had a custom PC, and they have to go in and do things to it, you'll naturally start to understand it. You'll start to look at things like, okay, this goes here, this goes there. You'll start to see how things work. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. But naturally, I mean, when you are hands-on with things more, you'll just naturally learn it.
Okay. It's just daunting, but I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
will.
I think I can
I'm pretty
manage a fan. I feel like I can
Yeah,
manage that
yeah.
most likely.
But it's good that you're going in there and getting a fan yourself and replacing. I think that's the first step to getting to understand your
Yeah.
PC, and getting to know what's in there.
Yeah, and I don't
So,
think it's an emergency, but like there's some times when like if I put my hand over the top exhaust, it's like warm. Like the air coming out of it's hot,
hmm
and like the room I'm in, there's only one like vent and it gets kind of
yeah,
hot. So I've just been kind of worried recently like I should probably replace that.
right. I mean, the case that you got was a pretty well rated case, meaning it has
Mhm.
good airflow in it. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, you can install software to check how hot your PC is running.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's not running like 80 degrees, 70 degrees,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I think 70 is that's getting a little hot. I mean, if it's not if it's chilling like the 50-degree range, I think you're fine. 50, 60-degree range, I think you're fine. But you don't want to get any hotter than that.
Yeah.
I think. I hope I got those numbers right. I hope I'm not misleading you.
How
I'll have
would
to go
I
back and check
how would I
myself.
know if my computer runs too hot?
There's software you can get for it.
No, I mean otherwise. Like just imagine I don't have the software. How can you tell if your computer is running too hot? Will it not perform the way it
I mean,
should
it'll
or
just shut off, to be honest. I mean, it'll just cut off if your computer's overheating. It'll just
okay.
crash.
Gotcha.
From my experience, it just shuts off. Because I almost fried a back then. This was Burning Crusade days. I went and I upgraded my processor, and I don't think I put enough thermal paste on there,
Mm.
and I went and I installed it, and my computer just shut off, and I almost fried. At the time, was a $350 processor.
Mm.
I was like, oh shit. And so I quickly did it correctly. I wiped off the old thermal paste and then applied the new one, and then it ran fine after that. And that PC ended up lasting me 8 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, a little outdated, but I was still able to run most games at the time.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, all right.
Cool. Question answered. Very good. I was just curious. I'll order a fan probably tomorrow. Yeah, because I looked up the measurements and it seems like it's very standard. The one I have, it's like 120 millimeter or something like that. Like it's like a very standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, do we have any questions in chat?
So far,
Doesn't look
no.
like so far. No, I think it's a quiet night tonight. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like I just it's so everything is so strange right now. Everything is so weird.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, it's yeah. It's very
Yeah,
weird. It's very mundane.
yeah. So I know we discussed this. I know we didn't. I know we didn't do an episode last week, right?
No, last week we were off. Yeah.
Okay. So I know I did mention to you after this episode, I'm no longer going to be streaming on my end. I'm strictly going to be hosting you.
Yeah.
So I don't know where my stream is going to be. I don't know what direction I'm taking it in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to be more of a supportive person in other people's streams. Like having an extra body, if you are a streamer and you need someone to play with, being an extra body, or being a co-host on things like this. But I just don't. I don't have. I don't have the passion to go and stream anymore.
It seems to come
That's
in
why.
waves for you, because I remember when I first met you, that was like
Yeah.
that's where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was streaming every day, and I streamed every single day for like a year. I streamed every single day, like literally Sunday to Sunday. I streamed every single day, even if it was for like 2 hours or 3 hours. I don't know if it's because there is nothing interesting right now for me to play, and I don't see anything interesting. But I am bored shitless of all the games I am playing.
You already lost interest in Valorant?
Yeah, Valorant, to be honest, never really caught my attention. I wanted to play it and I wanted to learn it and get good at it, and then I realized day after day I was like, I don't feel like playing this game today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like playing this today.
Yeah.
Same with Apex Legends. Like I go in every game, I get shit on, and it's just like I don't really care anymore. It used to be the other way around. I used to go into games and shit on other people. I used to drop almost 2k damage every single game,
And now it is you who is
double
being
digit
shat on.
kills. Yeah, now it's me going in and just getting insta-gibbed. And I don't care, you know. Same with Overwatch. I go into Overwatch, I play like 2-3 games, and I'm done. I uninstall it. 3-4 months later, you know, I'll come back, play another 1 or 2 games, and then I'll quit and uninstall it because it's just taking up space.
So what are you playing? Are you not playing any games anymore, or
I'm
are
playing
there
fucking Minecraft Dungeons, dude, and House Flipper. I've been playing like relaxing games like that because I don't care about anything else.
What's
honestly.
What the fuck is House Flipper? Is it what it sounds like? You buy a
Yeah,
house,
it's like-
you
yeah.
fix up the house,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sell the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you sell it to? Like NPCs?
So So the NPCs all have different requirements. So they all have different requirements, and how you decorate the house, meaning the type of furniture you put in there, different NPCs will bid. And then when you're ready to put the house up for auction, you put it up for auction, and then you have all these NPCs that'll just start bidding on it, and it's based on the time you put in, the type of furniture you have in there, how much you spent, and you can negotiate the price too. But usually the homes that you buy are just complete shit shows, and then you go in and you clean everything up. It's a lot of fun. It's super satisfying.
I was gonna say, I feel like my wife would love that game. Oh, she says hi. She says hi, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, she said hi.
Yeah.
It's on Steam. I wonder if this is Mac compatible, because I feel like she'd like that game.
I mean, it's a super basic game. I mean, I don't see why it's not.
Dude,
But-
you never know, man. Hardly anything can run on a Mac.
Yeah.
There's she, yeah. There it is. House Flipper. Huh.
What's it read?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Where it, like, if it's Oh, it works on Macs.
There you go.
There we go. There's the game for you.
That's a game worth playing. That's
I
fun.
feel like she would really enjoy that, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, you really gotta like fucking
Yeah.
like you
Yeah,
really
you go in.
you gotta
Yeah,
like
you bust out a mop and you clean shit, and then you can clean the windows. And then there's like roaches and shit. You got to use a vacuum. It is mind numbing.
Well, and here
And
you
you
go.
can
Here's
clear.
the little like the little trailer for you, so you can see. So yeah, oh, there's like roaches and shit. Oh, that bathroom is nasty.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, you get the bust
You can
walls
turn that
down?
off, by the way. If it triggers you, you actually can turn that off. Yeah, you could bust down walls and install new ones and
What?
remodel the house. Yeah, man, it's fun.
Oh, you really?
I
This is
enjoy
in
it.
death. Damn, you got to fucking like change fuses
It's
out and all sorts of
it's,
shit.
it's not that complicated. It's really not. It's not that complicated.
You gotta choose the right tools. Oh shit, man.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Okay, so I
So
saw the other day that you were playing this, and
uh
I didn't really know like if this is what you were actually playing or not. But yeah,
yeah,
oh, look at
that's what I'm
that.
playing.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I have like $775,000 because I bought 3 homes and I hooked them all up and I sold them, and I made like $775,000. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what else to do in that game. Like I can keep buying homes and flipping them and make more and more and more money, but
There's no end
I,
game boss that you, that you
no,
have
I
to
don't
that
think
you have
so.
to beat.
I mean, there's a house on the moon that you can buy, and it was like $475,000 or something like that, and I bought it, and I flipped it, and I sold it, and I think I made like $200,000 profit off of it. And so I was just like, I'm done. I guess I beat the game. What's up,
I th-
Cart?
I think you did. That sounds like you did beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah,
Oh
I've
man,
just been grinding more Siege. Is pretty much all I've been doing. Like the test server's out, so there's new operators.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So still not bored with that game yet.
yeah. Man, I just
Hey
can't get my
Zero, what is up? Welcome,
What's up,
welcome.
Zero? Dude, I just can't get myself to play Siege, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just the FPS hype is just dying for me. I think that's what the case is.
Yeah,
I just don't feel like going into the game and doing the whole, the fucking tracking and the aim flicking and all that shit. And I just think I don't care anymore, man.
well, I'm
I
sure
just
Siege will be
over it.
there if you ever
Yeah,
want to.
yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be there.
It's nice knowing that. It's nice knowing though that I can go back to Apex when I feel like it, and there will be I will have friends to play with because I have friends who still play it here and there. I think they pace themselves, and so they're
Mhm.
not sick of the game yet. Compared to me, I'm like burnt out by it.
There's like a new
I'm
season for
sick of it.
Apex too, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's just the same shit. Mopski, what's up, dude?
Oh, raiding with a party of 4. Hey, Mop. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome. Yeah. I did see
but
that
yeah,
there
I
was a
mean,
new season of Apex, but hey, Aaron, what's up? What's up?
what's up, Aaron? Mopski, what's up, dude?
He does live. He's alive. And he shaved too, since he was on here last.
Wait, you noticed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Do I
Yeah.
look younger?
You do look younger. You do. You do look younger. Yeah, I just am not bored. I don't get bored with when I love a game. I just don't get bored with it. So
I mean,
I also only play 3 days a week. So it's harder for me to probably get burned
true.
out on a game when I'm only playing it 12 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean, that's your game.
Yeah, yeah. It has been a while. Mops. It
Yeah,
has.
it has been a while.
You haven't missed much today. So we talked about replacing the fan in my case.
Yeah.
We
How
talked.
my tenant had COVID-19 and she brought it into my house,
We did talk
and how
about
she is
that
still going out on a daily basis.
because people
She's
are
still
dumb.
going out.
Those people are dumb. What else we talk about? Is that what you're playing now, Zero? Red Dead?
Red Dead 2. Yeah,
I
she
still
looking stuff.
haven't. I still
Oh
haven't
yeah.
played it. We have it. My wife's played through it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah. I got GTA 5. That's free, by the way.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, GTA 5 is free on Epic Store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess I have something to play,
I think today's the last day that it's free, isn't it? Isn't it only through like?
possibly. So if you don't have GTA 5, go get it, man. It's free.
Yeah. Nah, I think the sale's over.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I did my due diligence. I told all my friends about it, and if they didn't get it, that's their problem. But I think most of my friends had it. Oh, you know what else I've been playing though? Deep Rock Galactic.
What is Deep Rock Galactic?
So you're basically You're basically what
Is
is
it
it?
Civilization 6?
An orc, an elf, a dwarf. Yeah, that's it. You're a fucking dwarf, and you go and you just mine for shit. And there's objectives that you do. Yes, you're a dwarf. It's so fun. And then you have to meet the objectives, and the objectives can be anything. It could be mine this many, mine this minute, mine this much shit, or go kill this thing, or go repair this thing, or whatever, right? And the environment's different too. So you have low oxygen environments, you have no gravity, you have rich environments where you run a lot faster,
Huh.
normal environments. There's 4 different classes that you can play, and everybody's got their own gimmick. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's PVE. It's great. Yeah, lava planets do blow donkey balls. We had a lava planet where we had to kill the what was that huge dude? It was bigger than the oppressor. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a it was in a it's in an egg and you have to shoot it out. I forgot what it's called, but anyways, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Deep Rock Galactic. It just came out of early release, I think a week ago.
Hmm.
So my friends and I, we've been playing the shit out of that. I totally forgot about that game. I don't know how. Well, we still jump into Sea of Thieves here and there.
Are you
If
gonna get
I'm
that
by-
that Manhunter or Maneater or whatever that game is called?
Oh, Maneater. Oh, damn.
It just came out.
Yeah, it's that shark game where you play a shark and you just like
Yeah.
eat people. It looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I guess I could stream any of those games. I just don't know if I want to.
You could be a variety streamer.
Yeah, I could.
Some people like that.
Yes, I am playing Minecraft Dungeons. That game's fucking fun. I like it.
I can never get into Minecraft. By the way, for anyone who hasn't been in here before, if anyone has any questions like mental health related, we can answer those. I'm a therapist. Color Proof has experience in the field also. Yeah, just had to plug that. If anyone has any questions, you can throw them out. Otherwise, we're just going to randomly talk about random shit.
So typically, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard this already. So typically, our topics come from stuff that we experienced. It was a lot easier when we were working in the same place, because we would encounter shit all the time, and new questions would arise all the time. But because we don't work at the same place anymore, and I'm back to my old field, and the biggest part is that we're in quarantine. We don't really
Yeah.
encounter as much. So our shows mainly consist of things that we see on the news, personal experience that we had throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I think, and I don't even know when this quarantine is going to be over, but our topics will be a lot more structured later on. Oh, dude, there's a name.
I'm sure there is a name for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a name for that.
Is there a name for pooping in public restrooms? I guarantee you there is. Now, I can tell you that's not a official diagnosis. That would be an unspecified phobia. There's not like in the DSM, there's only like 7 phobias that are like official like a diagnosis. Like agoraphobia, claustrophobia, 5 other phobias, one of them being unspecified. Yeah. I bet you, actually, I'm going to look it up. It's probably like copra public phobia. I don't know, copra agoraphobia or something.
Yeah, something
Fear
phobia.
of pooping at work is the first thing. Fear of pooping toddlers.
Oh, dude, I have a fear of pooping at work too, man. Because you got to work with those people every day. You know what I mean? I don't want them judging me because my shit stink.
Parcapresis.
Parcapresis? Is that what it is?
It is. I know encapresis is when you shit yourself when you're not supposed to. Is because I've worked with clients that have had that.
Yeah.
Parcapresis. Fear about defecating in a public place.
Oh,
Learn
God.
something new every day. Okay, we got a couple of questions in here.
Okay.
So we'll just go
Let's
in
hit 'em up.
order as they come in. So So you were like quarantined in quarantine, Aaron. So Aaron was in basic training this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, my experience hasn't been that different than normal. I'm not like a very big social bug. I don't go out much. Most of my time, if I'm not on the computer playing games, is just hanging out with my wife. So like outside of work at least. So like my life hasn't changed a whole lot. Um,
Yeah.
the biggest change for me is not going out to restaurants really, which I miss.
Yeah. I mean, I just spend more time with my left hand. I mean, games.
Oh, playing the skin flute.
Playing the skin flute.
Are you left-handed?
Look, listen, I don't want to get into it.
He's a switch
okay?
hitter. Okay, that's
But
fine.
no, I'm right-handed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have. I mean, it's a great question. We've talked so much about being in quarantine. I really don't want to talk anymore about being in quarantine. It's a good question though. It is, but like, yeah. Okay. Feel anger with parents is very much unjustified.
I mean, don't you feel as if it is normal if you are around someone or around folks so often? Listen, you spent many, many years around your parents, and I think you guys have a relationship where you know that they know how to push your buttons or they do things that push your buttons. One thing that I learned is when I find someone who irritates the shit out of me, it is very hard to dial that out of my perception. Because once someone annoys me, I just like to pinpoint that. I'm teaching myself to not do that because there's plenty of good features in everybody. But I think it's normal that when you're annoyed by something, you just want to pinpoint that annoyance and you want to pinpoint those um, traits about your parents that just get you pissed. So I don't think your anger isn't justified. I think you just have to find a way to cope with it and how to take your mind off of it. It's fine to feel anger. If someone pisses you off, they piss you off. But I mean, you don't want to let that overcome you, you know?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I think I remember one of the things that they did that you told me about, and I would have been really pissed off by that too. I also know once you've moved out of the house and you move back into the house, it's hard. Like as an adult, like when you go back with your parents,
Yeah.
once you've had that taste of like not living with your parents, it's tough.
Right.
Also being stuck in a house with people for 3 months. I know you've still been working because you're essential, but like people are gonna start to get on your nerves when you're stuck in a house with people for that long.
I mean, have you tried setting some boundaries with them? I mean, have you tried going to them and be like, "Hey, listen, we're in quarantine, and I'm pretty sure I'm annoying the shit out of you, and you may be annoying the shit out of me. So can we set some boundaries? Like, hey, can I get this much time to myself, or please do this before you just violate my space, or come into my room, or whatever it is."
So I mean, if I recall correctly, that's the issue. Is he's not able to do
Ah,
that. They
I
pull
see.
the "this is my roof, my way"
I see.
sort of thing.
I see.
And you correct me
Then
if
you have
I'm
every
wrong,
right.
Mop, but I feel like that's what you were telling me, right? There was some sort of incident that came up, and they said something along the lines of "tough titty, this is my house."
Then you have every right to be pissed off, dude. Yeah. Boundaries.
Yeah, I tell my wife that all the time with my in-laws. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Honestly, dude, that would piss me off beyond belief. And my dad would do the same thing. Like even when I was a full adult, I had a curfew of I had to be, if I was not home by 11 o'clock, I could not come home as an adult, like full
Really?
adult. Oh yeah, yeah. He was like, it's
How
my
old were
house.
you?
I was like 20, 21.
Oh wow.
Even to this day, if I was gonna go home for a weekend, which I don't know why the hell I would, if I was to go home for a weekend, it'd be the same rule. Like if I leave the house, I can't come back unless I have to be home by like 10:30 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he had a good reason for it. He's a light sleeper, And our dog, which my wife can attest to, she barks over anything. So like if I came home at 11, she would bark and then that'd wake them up. Like there was no like sneaking in the house basically.
Yeah. My parents were really strict on me too. I had a curfew up until I was about like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like I had to be home before midnight. And I mean, it was just they cared. I mean, they were just being mom and dad.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
your house.
Yeah, Aaron, I can't imagine being in basic training and then everything was perfectly normal and when you come back it's like under lockdown. I can't like were the roads like empty as you were coming home? Damn. Yeah, Mopsky, just keep your eye on the prize. You know what I mean? If you're working on moving out, I mean that's
Mm,
really the best thing you can do is just redirect your focus onto something like that.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's what I would say. And I don't think that it's unjustified.
it's
Like
not
I'm sure you
unjustified.
don't want to feel angry at your parents, and it's probably easier to blame it on yourself and say you're making a mountain out of a molehill. But
Right.
yeah, I don't think it's unjustified. Now that being said, I also get like to be devil's advocate, I get the parents' perspective, and I imagine if I had kids, I would be very much that way too. I'm also a crotchety son of a bitch, so I imagine if I had kids, I would be that same way. Like, you didn't pay for that door, don't you slam that shit? You know, like I feel like I would be like that. I say that to my dogs. Like when like Bubba scratches the door, I'm like, "Did you buy that door? Quit scratching on my door, bitch!" Like, you know, so I get that. But I don't. I think you're justified.
Yeah, you have a risk to be pissed off. I mean, yeah, they're your parents. Yeah, it's their house, but you're still a human being.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard. It's also probably hard for a parent to view you as like a. I know my dad still has a hard time viewing me as like a functioning adult, which I am most of the time.
I mean, if they are reasonable, then I mean, they should be at least respecting your boundaries. Maybe the delivery could be a little bit different. I don't know. Yeah.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Yeah, parents are tough to deal with in general, anyway. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, I love my parents, but luckily, we have a very because my family's weird, but we have a very nice, healthy boundary of I talk to my dad like every couple months, maybe. I see my dad like twice a year. I see my mom like once a year, maybe twice a year at most. Um, yeah, and that's the thing is I love my parents. They're great people. They're not horrible. It's just we've set this up and it works well. That like I don't have to see them if I don't want to, and yeah.
Yeah. I know. I miss the shit out of my parents. I miss the hell out of my parents. I'm not gonna lie. I FaceTime them
Uh,
whenever I can.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And my parents are great. Like again, they're good people, you know. But like my family is also just like that. Like I have a brother. I talk to him probably like a couple times a year. I probably see him like once a year.
Right.
You know, it's just yeah, it's just how we are. Um, the single bug. Oh yeah, okay. Well, there's probably not much you can do about that in quarantine. I actually know. So okay, so one of my clients at work that I'm working with,
Huh.
he's on the spectrum. He's an adult.
Right.
Um, so one thing we've been working on is like social skills and conversation skills, and he doesn't know how to talk to women. I didn't realize this
Right.
because why would I? So Tinder now, you can do like online dates with Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's been just having a bunch of random online dates and just
Oh, that's
practicing.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Are they are has how has his experiences been? Like, were they barely patient with him? Were they?
He's challenging.
Yeah.
So he's not an incel because he's not. It's not like he's an incel, but he has that kind of mindset, right? So he's very like anti third wave feminism. He's very much like was telling me all the stuff that he was trying, and he was trying like negging a girl. Like, you're really pretty, but you'd look much better with brown hair.
Oh.
And he's like, I read that in a book that's a good way to get women. And I was like, no, dude, women do not like that.
Yikes.
Like,
yeah.
I'm encouraging him to try things. So I was like, yeah, try to see what they do. They may yell at you and cuss you out, but then you learn, like, don't do that again. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep trying to tell him that, like, just because you read it in a book does not mean it's good advice. I was like,
Right.
for instance, if I told you what next time you meet a woman, you want to punch her in the face and grab her ass first thing, is that good advice? And he's like, no, that's some Ted Bundy shit. And I was like, yeah,
Right.
but it's advice, so you should follow it. And he's like, well, no, that's bad. And I was like, exactly. Not all advice is good advice. Just because someone tells you to do something doesn't mean you should do it. But yeah, no, one date he started it off right off the bat telling him he was had Asperger's, like, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They were really nice though. Like that date lasted like an hour and a half. I was really shocked.
Oh, that's good.
I know. I was like, oh, there you go.
That's good.
It probably helps that he's like athletic and handsome, and as he likes to call himself, he's Blasian, which I did not know what that meant.
He's Black and Asian.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a handsome individual, which probably helps his cause a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, best of luck to him. I mean, I hope he. I mean,
yeah. Best of luck to him. For sure.
I think it has. Like, where do you start from there? You know what I mean? Like, where do you start?
Well, we
'Cause
started
I
with
know-
just conversation skills. So, like, for instance, he didn't know how to start a conversation. He hates small talk. So we role played a lot, like just starting
Yeah.
conversations. We talked about like how conversations have like a reciprocity. You
Right.
know, he asked like, how long do you do small talk for? Is it like 3.5 minutes? How long do you do it for? And I was like, there's not like a time limit. That's the kind of shit I'm doing with him.
Oh,
Is
okay, I
trying to
see.
teach him like what's too personal to talk about, what's not personal enough, you know, that sort of body
Starcy
body
brought up a good-
language.
Starcy brought up a good point. She said, "Look, here's my opinion. Don't read books from the male perspective to figure out what women want. What women want. You real female dating advice to figure out what women want."
Yeah, so I actually encouraged him because he has a mother. So I was like, have you talked to your
Right.
mom about what women want? And his response to me
Yes,
was,
you read female dating advice. Yeah.
his response to me was, Mom told me women want men who cook. I think she's just trying to convince me to learn how to cook. And I was like, well,
Basic
maybe.
life skill.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should just learn how to cook so you can feed yourself.
Yeah, he's like 19, by the way.
So something that I learned is that you have to figure shit out. Like, you don't know shit about shit. Like, I heard that's how you have to approach it. Like, you don't know shit about shit. Like, if you don't know anything about the client, you want to if I was a therapist, I
Mhm.
would want to get to the very, very root, the tippy tip of the root, and figure out where his mind is at. And I know with Asperger's, it's a little bit different
Mhm.
because I can't, like, it's easy for me. I could probably do that with you, right? Like, have a rational conversation with you and figure you out.
Yeah.
But with someone who has Asperger's, I don't know.
He's very rational. I mean, the problem is he's too, like, concrete, rational kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't
see.
understand nuance. Everything is very, like, black and white, cut and dry with him. Yeah. No, he's interesting, but
Yeah, and that's something we have to be mindful of because you never know who you're talking to. You know? Like, you might think someone's just a complete dick. And then you realize, I'm sorry, I got a mental illness. It's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you feel like a dick about it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, and that goes back to, like, the fundamental attribution error. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, the fundamental attribution error is, like, when you first...
English. English.
So
English.
not in jargon. So it's when you first meet someone, you tend to attribute your interaction with them as being like a core of who they are, like a personality trait. So, like, for instance, if you first meet me and I just got dumped by my wife and I'm like, fuck you, I'm busy, and walk away, you're going to assume that I'm a dick.
Right.
We don't take into account other variables that could have impacted why the person behaved the way they do. It's like the whole idea of, like, the first impression's most important. The reason for that is because of the fundamental attribution error. We don't take other things into account when we first meet someone.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
And how can you? You just met them. You know nothing about them.
Yeah. That's why you try to take a step back and, think that,
Yeah.
cooking
I mean,
is a good skill. Yeah.
What a rational person would do, is take a step back and be
So
like, hey,
one should. Yeah.
what's going on? Like, hey, what's bothering you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I got a couple interesting work cases, a couple not interesting ones right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
man.
I could talk about if no one has any questions. I could talk about one of my cases, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like there's
should.
probably more interesting things that someone has, right?
Yeah, I think.
If no one has any questions, I will talk about one of my cases, but
Yeah, you just totally talk about one of your cases.
so like
I'm always interested.
so there's this one. Oh, Starcy has a question. Okay, well while you put it in chat, I will start to talk about this case. So it's a female. Never mind, Mop. You don't want to hear about the case? Well, then fine. I won't talk about the case.
No, okay, we won't share.
I won't talk about it then. Okay, you do. Okay, well then I will talk about the case. Okay, so so I'm helping my boss with an assessment. So my boss, no, Starcy still, when she figures it out, she can put it in the chat and we'll address that after. So you're not going to step on her, absolutely. So my boss does, what she specializes in is forensic assessments. So she's trained specifically for sex offenders, specifically, but she does all sorts of like psychological testing for forensic sort of things. And she came to me and was like, I need help on this case because there's just way too much information. I can't get a diagnosis figured out. I need your help. So this lady is with us because she sent someone drugs over the internet and they died.
Oh, shit.
She's being charged with murder. Yeah. And we're trying to figure out a diagnosis because her lawyer is trying to go on the stance of that, like, she wasn't in the right state of mind at the time and it shouldn't be held liable. They're not going insanity, but they're basically trying to argue that, like, she wasn't.
How do you feel about that, though? Is there something? Is she really suffering from an ailment, a mental ailment?
I do think so. We don't know what. So, like, this is gonna sound really bad. She reeks of borderline personality disorder, is what we're thinking. But I also worry that she's trying to convince us that she has that disorder because it's just too good. Like when she's describing her symptoms, it's almost like she has the DSM and she's reading through the criteria almost. Like she knows the lingo, the jargon. She doesn't have a history of therapy, so it's not like she was taught this from a therapist.
Right.
So it's interesting. Long history of drug use. She actually created a whole online community around this one drug. And she has sent drugs to like lots of people across the country. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She also will like laugh hysterically while talking about this. And she'll get really angry randomly and start cussing and yelling and stuff. Yeah. So it's interesting.
Man. I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's probably my most interesting one right now. And then I got a guy who's bipolar that I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
INFPT. You want to know what I am? I actually did take the which one?
I did the Myers-Briggs too.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I put my results.
So I took a Myers-Briggs in grad school. I'm an STJI.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, ISTJ.
Oh, okay.
ISTJ.
I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
I think I am an INFJ. I think.
ISTJ. Yeah.
There's so many acronyms. I'm not 100% sure. Could be that. I think if you just Google Myers-Briggs tests, I mean, isn't there like an official one that you can do?
So in grad school we took the official one. But you can, I'm sure online there's like free equivalent ones you can take. They may not be quite as valid.
Right.
As like if you went to like a psychologist and took like an official Myers-Briggs, but oh gosh, my stuff's falling over. But yeah. You just said you did one, Mop.
Oh, there's a site called 16 Personalities.
Oh.
I think.
Oh yeah, the Myers-Briggs is like the official.
You can try this one, 16personalities.com/free personality test, or you just type in Myers-Briggs test, and I think that's the first result. Let me see, but there is, if you do go to Myers and Briggs, wait, no, that's, yeah, Myers and Briggs.
Yeah. It's, and again, it's not the end all be all anyway, but it is the love language test that Aaron, that is what that one's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also the strong interest inventory is another one that employers will look at also. It's one of those
employers will start looking at Myers-Briggs test now?
Apparently.
Huh.
I could see that.
Love language tests? That's interesting. I gotta look into that.
Yeah, so like the love language, I have no clue, man, about what type of Christians they are. But it's the idea that people will express their love in different ways. So, like, one of them's like tokens of appreciation, like buying you gifts. One of them's like time spent, physical affection. And, like, you take this test and it breaks down what your, like, different love languages are. Like, a lot of marriage therapists will do that with their couples. Yeah. So you can kind of see, like, he doesn't care about me. Oh, well, no, but if you look, his love language is, you know, tokens of affection, and yours is quality time together. So it's not that he doesn't love you. It's that, you know, you have different love languages and you express it differently. That sort of thing. That's how I heard about it, was from that. Well, Zero, thanks for stopping by, man. Take care.
All right, Zero.
Well.
Take it easy, my dude.
Well. Yeah. I will say I've had so many no-shows and cancellations in the past 2 weeks. It's been crazy.
Isn't all your stuff online?
I know, right? It's all
That's what I
fucking
don't get.
online. It's all fucking
all your
online.
stuff is online. How can they like?
They also get email reminders like a day before and 2 days before. It's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna start billing them anyway.
I don't understand.
I don't either, man.
You should start billing them.
I think we're going to.
There needs to be some kind of like cancellation fee.
Yeah, she doesn't have like a written policy though, but
oh man, they need to do one.
They do.
Some kind of like deposit, which is, I don't know.
Well, we have their card information on file, so we could just bill them.
Yeah.
I try to be somewhat lenient, so like this morning I had a cancellation, but she's never no-showed me before, and she had a work thing come up. So I was like, yeah, and she reached out ahead of time. Like, she didn't no-show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But she reached out an hour before the session to cancel. So I was like, I'm not going to bill you because, you know, we will raid Vert after this. Is Vert streaming? Yeah, we will raid Vert. Right in the butt.
What is what's his Twitch? Can someone link it in chat? In Don's chat?
I'll link it. I don't think I'm.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I have people allowed to link. And
okay. Well, just message it to me in Discord.
I'm gonna link it in chat.
Oh, there you go.
Cause that's yeah, where are we at? Yeah, that's him. So yeah, so when we're done, we'll raid him. If I can figure out how to raid. Oh, I gotta do the creator dashboard. That's how I do it, isn't it?
Isn't it just /raid and then?
Oh, is it? Is it that easy? Anyone who's better at Twitch know?
I don't know.
I know there's a way to do it if I go to like the dashboard or the stream manager. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'll just do it that way. Anyone have any questions? Oh, you can do /raid? That's good to know.
Yeah, it's /raid username. I figured it was that, but couldn't quite remember.
I'll do it in the, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll enter it in a little bit.
So, I
What we're
mean,
doing.
like, okay, so Mop. So, like, I'm the same way, dude. I'm an introvert.
Yeah, me too.
And my job is literally face to face dealing with people all day. I become more introverted the older I've gotten. I used to not be like that.
I'm an outgoing introvert. I think Don can attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I don't know. Like ever since this year, I don't think I've completely been myself. Like I haven't really been me. Like I love talking to people. At least I used to, but now it's just like most of the time I just don't.
How do you know people think you're rude?
Yeah, true. Did they tell you that?
Or are you assuming they think you're rude?
Do you have
I am
do you have a
not.
mod? Yeah.
I don't. I need to set people up
Ban
as
that fucking
moderator.
guy, man. Ban that. That's a bot, dude. Just ban it.
I know it is.
Why would you buy primes? You know the whole idea of getting primes is to make money, right? Like why would you spend? Oh my god, dude. Okay.
But
Alright.
it lets you have more emotes. Banhammer has been smacked. But now I can't see the chat because this guy's name won't go away.
Just curious, Mopsky, how old are you? Do you know how old Mopsky? I don't want to put his shit out like that. Put his shit out there like that. But just curious. You're 23. Okay. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I mean, it's no one has any rights to pass judgment on you because they don't know you. Like, not even some of your friends can do that because they still don't know what's going on in your head. Only you know that. Like, I don't know because when I was 23, I used to be the same way too. I used to think that way as well. I used to think like, oh, I care about what people think, even though I tell them I was like, oh, I don't care what people think. I do. Well, I did. But I think I've gotten to a point where it's just like I have other things that I need to worry about, and what other people think of me is not one of them. Exactly. Thank you, Denphasia. It's fucking exhausting. It's so exhausting. Like you just sitting there thinking about it. Like, why am I putting my efforts into what I, what other people think of me? Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's easier said than done, but like, and I can't give
It
advice on
is.
how not to care because from a young age I didn't really care what
Yeah.
people thought. Like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you get to that point, it is very freeing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're brutish and rude.
No.
I think you're fucking lovable. You know.
Lovable
I
and
do.
cuttable.
Yeah.
Cuddleable? Cuddleable? Cuddleable. Is that a word?
You're cuddly.
Cuddly. There you go. That's a better, yeah. Cuddleable.
I think Don and I are at the age where it's just like we get it. We get that people go through shit. Has got their struggles. We don't care unless you're some little kid who doesn't have a care in the world, who has nothing to worry about. But once you get to a certain age when you start to have things to worry about, we get it, you know? So if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. If you are the way that you are the way that you are.
So we're not made for everyone.
Exactly.
Is an important thing to know also. If you knew the amount of people who do not like me, you would be astonished because I'm so lovable, right? But there's a fuck ton of people who don't like me,
Oh yeah.
and that's fine. They can,
Yeah.
you know, they can sugma
Yeah.
and ligma. Man, I still remember at our old job there was this kid that was like, "Mr. Donald," you know, something about ligma, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Ligma," and he's just like, "Ligma balls, bitch."
I remember who that
And I
person was.
Yeah, and I was like, "God damn it, kid."
I have to say that kid was funny as shit.
I did like working with that kid. I think I just looked at them and just walked away. I don't even think I said anything. I was just
they
like,
were
okay.
funny as shit. I'm like, I don't think you realize it, but you're really like, I told them this. I was like, you're really fucking funny. Like, you're really funny. You know this, right? Like, you have a very likable personality.
Yeah,
like,
I did
you're
like
funny.
that kid. I know that kid was a pain in the ass for people, but I like that kid. Yeah. Honestly, the older you get, like, and I don't know half of your all's ages, but like the older you get, like, it definitely to me seems that it's very much like quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have lots of like friends, but like I don't talk to them. Like, I have like Color Proof, my wife, the people in Discord, you know, Mop and the Iron Mountain people. But as far as like in real life friends right now, it's Color Proof, my wife, and my best friend Nathan. And that's like really it. I mean,
Aw, really?
pretty much, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
there's like
that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
you made the
inside.
list. I mean, there's some people that I consider like friend, like, you know, but it's all through
Right.
like my wife's best friend is a friend of mine, but I don't talk to them unless they're here, which is like once every few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Shauna's,
mean,
Shauna's the same way.
yeah.
Shauna's the same way. She's been like texting me and we FaceTime and stuff like that. She's like, "Oh, we gotta get together again." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you're one of my closest friends." I'm like, "Oh, feel so warm
Yeah.
and fuzzy."
But when you get older, like it's not about how many friends you have; it's about the quality
quality
that you
friends.
have. Because as life
What-
gets busier, you don't have time to maintain 30 friendships. Like that's just kind of how
yeah.
it is. Like when you're like
Mhm.
not in school and you're working full time, it's just not. And I think
Yeah.
some people in their like early 20s have a hard time coming to terms with that.
Yeah.
You know. It may be my age is maybe why I separate online friends and in real life friends. That may be
Yeah.
more of like a generational reason why I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. You also have to remember that I'm like, you know, almost mid 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I get that. You know, some people have online friends, some people have IRL friends, but I didn't. Majority of my life was spent with IRL friends, and IRL friends just I have a different connection with them. And my IRL friends, we've been through a lot together, so we have experiences. We've gone through a lot of good times and bad times, physically, you know, together. But the connection that I have with my IRL friends is much different from my online friends, because with my online friends, we've never established that kind of friendship. You know what I mean? So I guess I guess I should say I don't really take it as seriously. Not because I think of my online friends as less of a human being, but I just I don't know. It feels very, very different. It's Jackie Chan and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I saw that. I was sitting here trying not to like react to it.
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
I was trying not to react to it, but like, okay. What's
Oh,
up,
that
Tony?
old, do I?
Hey, Tony Montana. How's it going? I guess there's much more unflattering people he could have said besides Seth Rogen, so I guess I should be kind of happy.
I mean, you think I'm happy with Jackie Chan?
No, actually, I got
Because
a little
literally, guys,
racist
like-
to be honest with you, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
Dude.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Dude, I've heard every racist joke in the book, man. Like I'm to a point where it's just kind of like whatever, dude. It really doesn't bother me.
yeah. The other thing to remember too is like our generation, there weren't online friends. There was no online.
Yeah,
Growing up, at least. I mean, like I didn't have internet until I was like 16 or 17.
yeah,
So I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't, you know, so like it wasn't really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it does. It sucks to some people that it's viewed that way as Starzy, but I mean, that's just my upbringing. That's that's just how my life progressed. You know what I mean? It was always IRL friends first, because we've just been there for each other, and that kind of bond. Unless some shit happened, then you know.
Who the fuck is this Tony Montana man? I'm sorry. Does anyone know who this person is?
I have no clue, dude.
Are you still there, Tony Montana man? Because I got some questions for you if you are. That's funny. Yeah. Honestly, dude, as far as like my friends growing up, it's just Nathan. Like, I don't talk to anyone else I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the big reason for that is because I'm not into the stupid shit that they used to be into.
All right.
Like, so that's probably a big reason for it. But yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, Don and I's friendship. I mean, although we've only known each other for what, like 2 years,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like we've been through a lot of shit. We've been through tons of shit.
Why is my bit rate going to shit? That's weird.
And that's great. I mean, honestly, Starzy, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I do have to say though, like some of my friends that I met online, before I met them in person, I've known them for a long time. Like I have a few friends who live out in Seattle, and I went and I visited them, and I met them for the first time like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But yeah, I mean, once we've established that, I mean, it was just kind of like we're IRL friends now, and they are very special to me.
Man, I do not know why my frames are going to poop.
Are you hardwired?
No. But I
Are you on
have,
Wi-Fi?
yeah, but I haven't had any issues typically. But my bit rate
Yeah.
is like not going well. It's okay.
No, I think Don and I's were I think Don's wife and we get along pretty well. I would say
Yeah.
we get along pretty well.
Yeah.
I think she's awesome.
She is. Wouldn't have married her otherwise. Yeah.
So whenever I get a significant other, I think my friends,
They'll have to pass the front porch test.
yeah.
Anyone know How I Met Your Mother, the front porch test?
No, front porch test.
Yeah, it's the idea that like when like a good friend of yours gets a significant other, he or she has to pass the front porch test. I can't speak tonight. So the idea of like, could you imagine all of us sitting on the front porch in our older age without wanting to kill each other? And if they pass that test, then it's a good person for them to be with.
Ah.
Yeah. Man, my stream is so delayed. I'm watching myself. I'm watching myself on my other monitor. Like,
oh, you gotta hit refresh it, and then it'll sync back to normal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you refresh, it'll sync back to normal. It doesn't stay like that. Like it was buffering on mine too, and I just need to refresh it, and it'll be back to normal.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So we've been going at this for like an hour and 20 minutes. Does anyone have
man.
any other like questions? If not,
Time
we
fucking-
may. Yeah,
Time flew.
it does. If not, we may wrap up and raid Vert.
Is Vert still streaming?
Uh,
I'll raid his sweet ass too.
There we go.
Is he on?
I don't know. I can check.
Okay, I can check too.
I can check. He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah.
Cool,
Let's set him
okay.
up. Let's do it.
All right, everyone. So we'll do this every Wednesday, hopefully.
Yep.
Of course, now my bit rate's good. It's funny. Yeah. So next week we may have a topic. We may just do more of this. So if you liked what you saw, you can come back next week. We'll take more questions. You may have a topic.
I think my stream's going haywire now. Oh well.
Yeah, there's just something
I'm
in
about
the
to-
air.
I'm about to get off anyway, so
All right, everyone. So please stick around. We're gonna raid Vert, a fellow Iron Mountain person who's fun and apparently lives near the Tiger King place. So that's cool.
yeah. And also, again, next week, I'm not going to be streaming on my end. I'm strictly going to be hosting Don Tony's stream. So I'll host them. If you do visit my channel, it's going to just host Don. So to skip that, just go to Don's stream and I'll retweet and all that stuff.
Cool. Well, yeah, and thanks to everyone for coming out. And now we are going to raid. And if I can figure out how the hell, let's see, it's
/ and then raid space IZ_VERRT.
There he is.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. We'll catch y'all later.
I'm gonna hop in his and say hi real quick.
Yeah, me too.
So I can turn my stream off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.